And we're off for our game against Northstar Christian Academy. Starting out with Reynolds, Paulo, Palauskas, Campbell, and Rubicki cutting in net. Puck in the corner with Campbell. Campbell backhands one up to Rubicki. Rubicki looking for Reynolds. Gets past Reynolds. Northstar sends it in to the corner. Bounces to Campbell. Campbell pushes it up the board to Palauskas. Kept in by Northstar. Back to Campbell. Campbell flips up. Bounces off of a hand and over to Palauskas. Palauskas to Paulo. Paulo enters. Tries to pass it over to Palauskas, intercepted by Northstar. Northstar behind the net. Palauskas takes it away and then tries to get it over to Reynolds. Northstar up the near board, escapes. Krzyzkowski's come on. Puck turned over to Reynolds, back to Palauskas, over to Krzyzkowski. Krzyzkowski dumps it down deep. Puck up the far board. Bergeron has come on. Northstar dumps it on Cutting. Cutting blocks it over. Onak loses an edge. Puck to Krzyzkowski. Now Palauskas tries to get it over to Kush. It bounces off. Aldridge and Onak on it D. Puck behind the net for Onak. Onak escapes. Tries to ship it over. Goes to the corner. Krzyzkowski gets a stick on it to Bergeron. Bergeron tries to get it out. Krzyzkowski does. Palauskas changes. Predidio comes on. Prisgintis and Campbell at D. 15:30 to go in the first. Northstar on a rush. Shot blocked by Campbell and into the netting. Shalicki, Letcher, and Nietzsche come on. Puck off of the board to Nietzsche. Nietzsche to Campbell. Campbell gets it up to Letcher. Letcher cross ice for Nietzsche. Nietzsche streaking into the zone. Couldn't quite get control of puck. Gets pinned against the board, and Northstar comes back behind their goalie. Puck into the corner. Letcher comes up to play. Cross ice pass for Northstar, and they enter. Pushed wide by Prisgintis. Puck now in the corner. Nietzsche and Prisgintis working. Bounces off of the board. Northstar behind the net. Northstar up to their D. Letcher comes out to challenge. Blocked, and the puck goes into the net. So puck goes out of play behind Cutting. We'll get another change as Carter, Kruger, and Brown come on. Onak and Rubicki at D. Kruger squares up. Puck over to Rubicki. Rubicki chips it hard out for Carter. Carter tries to race down. Does get there, but Northstar gets it up the far board. Brought back in and down low. Brown going in for the forecheck. Pushed over to the corner. Kruger is there. Puts his guys to the board. Northstar gets it off the board. Carter, big hit. Rubicki, cross ice for Brown. Brown chips it forward. Kruger goes to get it. Northstar trying to get it out. Reverses course. Goes behind the net. Brown over to charge. Pushes puck into the corner by Northstar, and then over and into the neutral zone. Rubicki sends it in deep and goes for a change. Brown changes. Predidio comes on. Good stick by Predidio. Puck allows a change as Kruger gets off. Krzyzkowski gets on. Northstar made it a full change. Carter, big hit. Puck goes behind the net. Northstar trying to get it off of the board. Krzyzkowski pulls it and gets it over to center ice. Puck just stuck in feet now. Bergeron has come on, and Predidio as well. Prisgintis with Aldridge at D. Puck up the near board. Northstar keeps it in. Northstar down the corner. Goes back behind Cutting and into the opposite corner. Prisgintis knocks it away. Tries to get it off of the board. Hits Predidio skate. Northstar back in control. Good stick by Aldridge. He knocks the puck. Northstar puts it into the opposite board. Prisgintis up for Predidio. Over to Krzyzkowski. Krzyzkowski up for Bergeron. And that'll go for an icing. 12:56 to go. Pulauskas, Reynolds, Paulo, Campbell, and Rubicki on the ice. Face-off kicks it back to their D. Shot on cutting, glove, no rebound. Face-off controlled by Northstar. They got a shot. It gets blocked in front by Paulo. Goes to the corner. Rubicki pins his man. Pulled off of the boards by Northstar. Paulo over to help. Northstar still in control. Northstar up to the blue line. Goes back door. Shot high and wide. Back over to the far board. Reynolds is there. Puts it forward for Paulo. Paulo and Pulauskas 2-on-2 into the zone. Paulo gets a shot. It's gloved and no rebound. $12:25 to go in the first, still 0-0. Prisgintis and Aldridge at D. Same forward personnel. Paulo. Puck underneath him. Pulauskas tries to pull it out. Northstar comes up with it. Puck knocked aside by Aldridge up to Pulauskas. Pulauskas enters the zone, drop pass for Reynolds. Reynolds shot. Had him beat, but it sailed a little high of the net. Paulo knocks that puck to Prisgintis. Prisgintis to Aldridge, back to Prisgintis. Cross ice, intercepted, looking for Reynolds. Northstar dumps it in, hard around, comes up to the near board. Bounces off of Northstar players. They were anticipating the hit from Pulauskas. Puck knocked back to Aldridge. Aldridge battling, tied up, centering pass. Good job by Prisgintis to tie up. Pulauskas now streaking down at the pass from Reynolds. Shot on, bounces off of the pad and behind the net now for Northstar. They escape and go for their setup. Reynolds comes in. Good job by Onak to read that pass. He dumps it back into the zone. Northstar tries to set up again. Reynolds changes. Letchers come on with Chalicki. Nietzsche as well. Nietzsche over the red line and dumped in. Puck behind the goaltender. Northstar tries to clear it up the boards, bounces off and into neutral ice. Onak sends it back down, played by the goaltender, up the near board for Northstar, looking for a cross-ice pass. Passes it right to Chalicki. Chalicki to Nietzsche, bounces off Nietzsche's stick. Northstar passing in, hits off of Letcher's stick. Letcher lifts the stick. It was Nietzsche's. Nietzsche's got to pick it up. Centering pass. Letcher pushes forward, still in control. Northstar coming up the far board, centering again. Backhand shot and goal. So Northstar pushes that puck to the middle. Puck protection by 27 on Northstar. Backhand shot beats cutting glove side. 1-0 Northstar. Kruger, Brown, and Carter come out. Onak and Prisgintis at D. 10:38 to go in the first period. 1-0 Northstar. Onak digs that puck out, goes cross ice for Kruger, bounces off Kruger's stick. Back to Northstar. Northstar dumps it to the corner, back to Onak. Onak up the near board, looking for Carter, just misses him, and that'll go for an icing. Carter was anticipating that puck on his right side and went behind him. Kruger at the dot. Puck knocked to the corner. Prisgintis hard off of the glass. It's going to go for another icing. Kruger wins that faceoff again. Onak loses an edge, gets back up, however, able to get it off of the glass and out. D to D for Northstar, regrouping, bouncing off of a Northstar player as they try to get a centering pass into the zone. Onak gets it into neutral ice. Northstar has to tag up. Carter gets that over to Kruger. Kruger dumps it in deep. Puck coming around. Brown coming in, gets that off of the board. Puck goes into the corner. Northstar takes it away. Northstar now up the sideboard. Brown coming hard. Gets in the way, but Northstar gets a pass off. Puck now behind the net. Tried to get a shot on cutting. It went wide. Kruger flips it into neutral ice. Brown changes. Presidio comes on. Kruger changes. Carter changes. Bergeron and Piszkowski come on. Campbell has come on at D. Piszkowski knocks a puck in. Northstar regrouping. Rybicki and Campbell for the D pairing. Rybicki up the far board, cross ice for Burge. Puck went behind him. Northstar back to the neutral zone. And now pass in the middle of the ice. Gets tied up. Tried to clear. Puck bounces in front. And a quick shot by Northstar, and it's 2-0. Reynolds, Paulo, and Velasquez come on. Northstar wins another faceoff. They go back to their D-man, cross-ice pass, bounces off of the stick, and then chip back in. Paulo goes together in the corner, backdoor pass, quick shot. Northstar wastes no time getting a shot off. If they have a lane, they shoot. Paulo with a block, gets that puck out, knocks it down. Puck makes it over to Reynolds. Reynolds shot. Hits the shoulder, jamming opportunity by Pulauskas, but no room. And we get a whistle as the goaltender covers. 8:31 to go in the first. Northstar up 2. Same personnel. Paulo take the face-off. Reynolds offset behind him. Face-off to Pulauskas. Pass to Reynolds. No rebound. We'll do it again. Good play on the face-off here as the loose puck came to Pulauskas. Pulauskas got a pass off. Puck now knocked over to Onak. Onak down to Pulauskas. Pulauskas centering to Paulo. Paulo's shot hits off of the pad. Northstar, they've got a step on Onak, but he smartly gets back and then gets the puck up to Pulauskas. Pulauskas to Reynolds, and offsides is called. Nietzsche, Chalicki, and Letcher are going to come off of the bench. Campbell and Priskintis at D. It's like we're missing Miller today. Puck over to the near board. Cross ice pass for Northstar. Puck comes up to Chalicki, but gets past and he keeps it in. Northstar clears it. Nietzsche sends it back in deep. Letcher coming in. The goaltender plays it to the corner, sensing Letcher coming, and Northstar goes up the near board and then cross ice. One man streaking, hits the stick but goes over to the near board. Northstar still in control, gets it up to their D. D to D pass and then dumped down onto the board. Priskintis chips it off of the glass and down. That should be an icing. 7:25 to go. Nietzsche ties up. Puck goes to Onak. Onak up for Chalicki. Chalicki chips it forward for Letcher. Letcher slows up, tries to get back to the puck. Northstar knocks him off, and then up the near board. Pass and enter by Northstar. Knocked away by Rybicki. Puck is still in control of Northstar behind the net, and now up the far board. Chip back down into the corner. Rybicki is there. So is another Northstar player. They try to center, hits off of Onak's skate, and then cleared by Letcher. Nietzsche gets a stick on the pass. Letcher then dumps it in. Brown, who just came on off of a change, tries to go get it, but it gets down low first for an icing. Carter, Kruger, and Brown are now out. Aldridge and Prisgintis at D. Northstar win that faceoff and get it back. Carter comes up to challenge, gets blocked in front by Aldridge. Brown knocks the player down, so he can't get a shot off. Prisgintis was there to tie it away as well. Brown knocked the puck into the neutral zone. Kruger comes up for a hit. Puck knocked back to the neutral zone, and then Northstar mishandles and puts it back in their own D zone. Kruger and Carter coming up. Puck, nice little short passes by Northstar to D. Their guy. They do a good job of just chipping it a few feet at a time. Kruger up for Brown. Brown hits it. That's gonna no icing. So I'm pretty sure that went off of Brown, but they waived icing. Carter came in, gets a stick on that puck. Rybicki now controlling up for Carter. Carter gets knocked off the puck. Kuszkowski comes in on a change. Rybicki up for Brown. Brown gets it knocked away. Back to Rybicki. Up the far, around for the Carter up the near board. Up for Kuszkowski. Knocks off of Kuszkowski. Northstar sends it right back. They decide to regroup. Puck goes in the middle. Now Kuszkowski coming back down. Carter trying to get that puck. Campbell gets it behind the net. Kush comes over to help. Northstar still has it. Oh, backhand shot goes wide. Brown gets it out, and that'll go for an icing. 5:10 to go in the first. Bergeron, Credidio join Kuszkowski. Onak and Aldridge at D. Kuszkowski pushes that puck back for Onak. Onak around off of the glass for Burge. Burge lets it go. Puck into the neutral zone. Aldridge comes up to get to it. Puck chipped up to Credidio. Credidio dumps it into the zone. Bergeron on the forecheck. Put into the opposite corner by Northstar. Northstar up the near board now. They try to get that another short pass over. It knocks off. Burge sends it in. Two Northstar guys try to hit Burge and miss. Kuszkowski chips it back for Credidio. Credidio, big hit. Absorbed on the boards there. Puck still in Fury control. Good pass by Onak to find Kuszkowski. Bounce off of Kuszkowski's stick and into the corner. Aldridge keeps it in. Northstar trying to dig it out. We go for a change. Paulo and Velasquez comes on. Bergeron's still out there. Puck chipped up the boards for Prisgintis. Prisgintis chips forward. Aldridge changes. Campbell comes on. Reynolds makes it on the ice as Bergeron changes. Good stick by Paulo. Velasquez passes to Paulo. Paulo shot high and off of the glass. Goes onto the near board. Paulo comes in, loses an edge. Northstar goes cross ice, and then back to the near board. Centering pass, shot off of the blocker of Cutting. Velasquez comes in, gets a shot. It goes wide, hits off of the glass and over to the near board. Nietzsche's come on for a change. Tied up. Puck still in feet, now centered. Backhand shot. Rybicki steps in front of it, gets it to Velasquez. Velasquez to Nietzsche. Nietzsche to Reynolds. Reynolds tried to pass it in front. Gets blocked. Knocks it to Onak. Onak down for Nietzsche. Nietzsche drops it low. Reynolds goes in. Puts his guy into the boards. Puck goes up the near board. Nietzsche is there. Northstar chips it into the neutral zone. Letcher gets that up to Onak. Onak waits and then decides to chip it. Puck knocked back to Onak. Onak puts it on net, and the goaltender plays it for his D. Northstar coming up, chips off of the stick and out of play. 2:45 to go in the first. Northstar does not stop moving. We're going to get a line change. Kruger, Carter, and Brown. Puck knocked over. Brown steps on it, takes a stumble. Northstar enters the zone. Kruger, good stick. Puck gets chipped out, hits off of Brown's stick into the neutral zone. Northstar D to D. Brown with pressure gets that puck to Kruger. Kruger behind the net, leaves it for Carter. Carter gets a stick on it, bounces to Aldridge. Aldridge shot in front, stick aside by the goaltender. Kruger centers, goes over to the far board. Carter is there. Carter puts it down low. Kruger and Brown working. Brown gets it, puts it underneath Kruger. Kruger pinned on the boards. Brown into the corner with Kruger. Kruger pins his guy. Puck still loose. Puck goes down low into the neutral zone. Aldridge gets it to Brown. Brown absorbs a hit and dumps it. Predidio, Kushkowski come on the ice. Carter still here as well. Onak gets a hip check on. Puck down low. Northstar got there first. Pinned down. Predidio trying to dig it out. Does. Gets it over to the corner and then cross for Kushkowski. Kushkowski sprung. Gets a shot. Hits off of the blocker. Really good opportunity there. Nice idea by Kushkowski to get a quick shot. Another quick shot. Goes high. Predidio recognizing he had a lane. Got that pass to Kushkowski. Just gets his... Good job by cutting. 2 quick saves. Przgintis got a little bit turned around. Northstar got a quick shot on the rebound, went underneath Kushkowski, and Northstar got another shot, which deflected off of cutting and into the netting. Paulo, Pulauskas, and Reynolds come on. Puck 1-2, Przgintis, hard across for Pulauskas. Pulauskas tries to beat Northstar. Northstar knocks it away and takes control back. Back to their D, regrouping in their own zone. Up the near board, into neutral ice. Centering, misses, over to Reynolds. Reynolds chips ahead for himself, kicks it, and then dumps it behind net. Over to the near board, Paulo puts it down low for Reynolds. It jumps away. Northstar up the far board, chips it into neutral ice for their forward, who puts it in the opposite corner and get a change. Paulo, off of the board, kept in by Northstar. Shot bounces off of Campbell's skate and into the corner. Send it across ice behind the net for their D. Now D to D up to the near. Blocked by Pulauskas. Good job getting up on that guy. Pulauskas cross ice. Reynolds was changing. Chilicki came on. Good stick by Rybicki. Rybicki to Chilicki. Chilicki chipped it to himself. It got stuck on the boards. Pulauskas gets it over to Chilicki. Chilicki escapes and over to Rybicki. And that's the end of the first. So after 1, Fury are down 2. We're going to start the second period the way we ended with Nietzsche, Chalicki, Rybicki, Onak, and Letcher. Nietzsche wins that faceoff over to Letcher. Letcher gets taken down. Northstar sends a puck into Fury territory. Onak puts it forward for Nietzsche. Nietzsche tries to kick it to a stick. It gets knocked away. And Northstar chips through into the neutral zone. Onak, good hit. Puck over to Letcher. Letcher's got two guys on him. Northstar takes away, puts it down low. Nietzsche tried to get a hit escape by Northstar. Couldn't escape Rybicki though, and up the near board over to Letcher. Northstar still in control, centering pass, bounces away. Chalicki gets a hold of it and into neutral ice. Puts it ahead for Nietzsche. Nietzsche streaking down the side, stops. Tries to pass across for Letcher. Letcher puts it back to Chalicki. Puck hits a stick. Kruger came on a change. Kruger enters. Chalicki changes. Carter and Brown come on for Letcher and Chalicki. Chris Gintis and Aldridge at deep. Puck up to Carter. Carter puts it hard up for Kruger. Kruger's got a step. Gets stuck behind. Tried to jump past. Brown coming back on the back check to take it away. Does. Lifts the stick over to Prisgintis. Prisgintis to Aldridge. Up for Kruger. Kruger touches it. No icing. Puck goes behind. Goaltender plays it up the board. Carter is there. It's off of Carter's stick. Good stick by Brown to knock that away. Goes over to Aldridge. Aldridge behind the goaltender. Up for Brown. Brown to Campbell. Campbell chips it in the neutral zone for Kruger. Kruger looking for Carter. Misses. Northstar comes back in. Brown comes in. Ties up. Kruger ties up. Carter gets the loose puck. Tries to make a move. Brown gets it past center ice and dumps it. Goes for a change. Credidio comes on. Piszkowski comes on for Kruger. Campbell has room, skates up a little bit, goes cross ice for Credidio. Credidio sends that in deep. Northstar up the far board. Into center ice, get a step off of Campbell, and then a shot. Good save by Cutting. Tried to go 5-hole on him, he shut it down. Puck knocked back in, and then into the near board. Campbell over to Rybicki. Rybicki in the corner, up for Carter. Carter put it forward for Piszkowski now, trying to work at Credidio. Carter finally gets off, and Bergeron is able to come on. Northstar's attack has been pretty relentless. Campbell changes and Onak comes on. Bergeron coming in hard now. Puck into the neutral ice for Northstar. Credidio ties up. Rybicki tried to help. Bergeron gets tied up. Credidio picks it up. Tries to make a move. Northstar gets a skate on the puck. Piszkowski tried to keep it in. Hits off of a Northstar player, and they're offsides. So we'll get a change. Reynolds, Paulo, Pulauskas come on. 13:42 to go in the second. Paulo takes the face off. Northstar pushes it back. Onak puts that puck in, takes a hit. Northstar gets a shot on Cutting. Over to the far board for Onak. Onak cross ice for Reynolds. Reynolds up to Paulo. Paulo gets pushed into the board. Puck goes behind the net and brought back into the corner. Pulauskas does a nice job of getting a body on. Paulo and Pulauskas trying to dig out. They've got 3 Northstar guys on them. Reynolds trying to knock that puck away, but these little short passes make it really hard. You got to be in the right spot. Puck chips ahead for Pulauskas. Pulauskas gets past the defender, tries to go 5-hole. Good opportunity by Pulauskas, shut down by the goaltender and then cleared by Northstar. Campbell back to Prisgintis. To Pulauskas. Pulauskas couldn't quite control that one. Northstar gets it up the far board and dumps it in and goes for a change. Prisgintis hard. Oh, hits that glass that's sticking out over there by the Zam door. Nietzsche tries to get past the guy, knocks that puck to Reynolds. Reynolds gets a backhand that goes wide and then tries to put one in from the side of the net that gets cleared. Nietzsche, good stick over to Reynolds. Reynolds into neutral ice. Pulauskas changes. Letcher comes on. Northstar tried to get a pass into the middle of the ice. Campbell was there. Chips it ahead for Nietzsche. Nietzsche's pass to Reynolds didn't quite get there. Reynolds still on the ice, hasn't been able to change. Puck gets flipped up. Cutting pushes it behind him, and now puck cleared. We're trying to change. The goaltender recognizes it and plays it for the D. Kruger has come on. Jalicki and Letcher. Rubicki, good steal. Waits for space. Puck gets knocked into neutral ice. Aldridge collects it and gets it to Letcher. Letcher chips it ahead for Kruger. Northstar is there. They try to get it through. Letcher takes it away. Pushes it hard. Hits off of that stick. And the ref didn't see it touch the stick, so goes for an icing. Brown and Carter join Kruger. 11:23 to go in the second. Face-off controlled by Northstar. They go D to D. Brown comes out to provide pressure. Northstar has to dump it. Puck into the corner now. Prisgintis working. Northstar sends it behind Cutting over to the far board. Carter is there with Prisgintis. Puck to the middle. Brown takes it away. Gets it into neutral ice and then tied up. Still working. Brown's still working at it. Off the near board, puts it in deep and goes to go get it. Northstar puts it into the corner and then up the far board. Kishkowski's come on and change. Puck over to Onak. Northstar racing to get there. Ties up Onak. Puck loose in the corner. Carter over to help. Pass into the middle. Shot goes wide. Presidios come on for Brown. Puck bounces past Carter. Kishkowski picks it up. Gets tied up over to Campbell. Northstar takes it away from Campbell. Carter steals it. Presidio gets a hit on. Northstar still has it. Onak kicks it to Kush. Kush tried to drop past to Carter. Carter didn't see it. Northstar regroups. Kishkowski gets in the way. Puck makes its way to Carter. Carter's got to wait for Kush to step in. Puck goes in the zone. Kishkowski had tagged up, gets tripped, and that'll be a power play. So we're going to go an interference call. So we'll get our power play unit out. 9:50 to go in the second. Nietzsche, Letcher, Paulo, Reynolds, and Campbell. Face off underneath and then pinned on the sideboard. Northstar gets it out. Good stick by Reynolds. Letcher trying to pull it away. Northstar still battling. They've got it. Send a centering pass. Northstar looking to score, even short-sighted here, looking for an opportunity to get a puck in on Cutting. Nietzsche take the straw. Puck makes its way to Paulo. Paulo to Onak. Onak chips it forward. Nietzsche goes to get it. Northstar's going to get there. Try to pin it. Apollo, good stick, puts the puck back under Nietzsche. Northstar wins it out. Apollo takes a hit. Northstar behind cutting. Put it over into the corner. Northstar still in control, has it down on the backboard, try to get a centering pass. Reynolds is there, takes it away. Reynolds to Paulo, back to Reynolds, up to Letcher. Cross ice for Onak, Nietzsche changes. Letcher, shot in front, tipped by Paulo, taken away by Northstar, and they clear. Krzyzkowski's come on, Chalicki comes on, Campbell as well. Puck up to Kush, Kush tries to chip it. So it'll be 4-on-4 for 12 seconds, and then Northstar will have a power play opportunity. Double minors are just what they are. If they score on a minor, that penalty expires, and then the next penalty starts. So we're going to go with Paulo, Kashkowski, Campbell, and Aldridge. Northstar pushes that back to their D. Paulo comes up the challenge, shot on cutting, hits off the blocker, and then cleared by Aldridge. Penalty has expired for Northstar, and so now we're on the kill. Puck brought in wide by Northstar to circle up the board and then dump it down low. Campbell gets there first, puts it off to the boards, it bounces past and cleared. 3:28 to go in the penalty time. Puck slowed down behind the goaltender. Northstar brings it out, goes to the near board, enters with speed, gets past Kashkowski, and then centering pass knocks into the backboard. Puck on the near board kept in by Northstar, but Kashkowski steals it away. He's got a breakaway. Shot, backhand, goal! Kashkowski with the shorty. A little forehand, backhand got the goalie to go down, and Kush had a nice goal there. So shorthanded goal, Nietzsche, Letcher, Onak, and Rybicki come on. Northstar control the face-off, and they go cross ice. Puck in front of their goaltender, brought back behind. Letcher giving some pressure. Nietzsche and Letcher back off a little bit. Northstar brings the puck in. They come to the right of cutting, and that rebound gets blocked by Rybicki over into the corner for Letcher. Letcher has it tied up. Rybicki coming over to help. Puck to the middle of the ice for Onak. Onak ahead for Nietzsche. Puck bounces, makes its way to Northstar. They go behind their goaltender. Nietzsche's still there. Knocks it away. Letcher lifts the stick. Onak puts it on net. It bounces in front. Nietzsche's all by himself. 5-hole. I was just saying at the ice cut how this goaltender, when he slides, lifts his leg just a little bit. Nietzsche recognizing that goes 5-hole against our second shorty. It's 2-2. Paulo and Chalicki now on with Prisgintis and Aldridge. It's a new game, all tied up. 2 minutes to go, 2:05 left to go in the penalty. So the first penalty is expired. We're now into the second penalty. Puck chips over to the boards. Chalicki gets it. Puck goes into the sideboard, doesn't quite get out of the zone. Northstar puts it back behind. Prisgintis, good stick, knocks it away. Northstar has to ship it down into the corner. Puck now behind cutting. Northstar trying to get it over to one of their guys in the corner. Prisgintis gets a body on. Puck still in the corner. Now comes off of the sideboard. Aldridge sends it over to Chalicki. Chalicki clears. Puck goes on the goaltender, plays it for their D. They come right back up the ice. Kashkowski comes back on. Northstar bringing it wide. They dump it down. Puck into the corner. Campbell ties it up. Minute 10 to go. 5:10 left in the second period. Northstar passing. Gets a puck in front, tied up by Kashkowski. Puck still behind cutting. Put in front. Good stick, Chalicki. Puck comes into the neutral zone. That wastes a little bit more time off of the Power play. Another turnover here by Northstar. They get it back and go into neutral ice. They take a stumble, run into each other. Campbell now bringing it behind Cutting, gets it up to Nietzsche. Nietzsche tries to chip it in. Northstar, hits off of Krzyzkowski. He almost had another breakaway. Centering pass, good stick lift by Aldridge. Puck to the corner. Aldridge is there. Northstar sends it back up the boards. Nietzsche knocks it away. Puck to the corner again, back up to their D. 16 seconds to go. Puck down low again, centering. Back door, they had him, but it bounces off of the player's stick and over to the sideboard now. Back up to the point. Cross ice. Puck for back door. Krzyzkowski, good stick. 2 seconds. 1. Penalties over. Reynolds comes on. Shot blocked by Nietzsche. Chipped ahead. Reynolds and Krzyzkowski. Krzyzkowski going to the net. Reynolds. Shot goes wide. Kuzgintis puts it over to Nietzsche. Kuzgintis brings it down. Centering pass for Reynolds, and the net gets knocked off. I didn't see anybody hit the net, but the net comes off. We'll get a line change. Brown, Carter, Kruger, Rubicki, and Kuzgintis. 2-2. 3:42 to go in the second period. Puck one back to Kuzgintis. Brown knocks that puck away. Northstar takes it deeper into their zone, goes from behind the net. Carter comes over, pushing the puck to the side. Brown knocks the puck away. Northstar tries to clear. Carter takes it. Up to Brown. Brown chips it off of the board. Carter coming over to help. Dug out to Rubicki. Rubicki puts it into the zone. Northstar trying to escape. Bring it through the neutral zone. Enter wide. Shot is blocked by Rubicki, and now down low, Onak is there. Northstar into the corner. Behind the net, Onak takes it away. Chipped into the corner. And now Northstar tries to center. Kruger gets a hold of it. He's got Carter. Misses Carter, goes for an icing. So pass behind Carter. They'll go for an icing. We'll get a change. Reynolds joins Credidio and Bergeron. 2:41. Kuzgintis gets taken down, no call. Puck goes cross ice for Northstar. Reynolds comes over to help Bergeron, and the puck gets pushed down to Aldridge. Northstar chipping it along the boards. Credidio digs it out, puts it back down low. Centering pass, and looks like a pass goes wide. Now puck now behind Cutting, up the far board. Misplayed by Northstar's D. Northstar looks a little flustered right now. Puck chipped in. It's like we're going to get an outside face-off. Chalicki, Letcher, and Nietzsche come out. Northstar controlling the face-off. They go D to D up the far board. Cross ice now into the neutral zone. Entering wide. Shot gets deflected by Rubicki. Campbell takes that puck up to Chalicki. Gets past Northstar's defenseman and then sent into neutral ice. Campbell is there. Takes it back. Puts it across to Rubicki. Over to Chalicki. Chalicki gets across center ice and dumps it to the corner. Puck bounces over Nietzsche's stick. Northstar the other way. They try to pass it, and Campbell steals it away. Letcher dumps it in deep. Played by the goaltender. They almost pass it to Chalicki. Northstar coming through. Chalicki's going to change. Reynolds comes on. Pass misses and chipped into the corner. Rubicki chips high for Reynolds. Reynolds gloves it down and gets it to his stick. Ahead for Nietzsche. Nietzsche centering. Oh, Retcher almost. We've butterflied it over the net. But really good play. Letcher knocks that puck away. Paulo comes on. That goes for an icing. So Paulo and Pulauskas are going to join Reynolds. 36.7 seconds to go in the second. Face-off knocked behind over to Aldridge. Aldridge gets behind cutting, sends it up for Reynolds. Northstar takes it away. Push back down. Onak gets there. He's got space. Gets that puck for Reynolds. It misses. That'll be an icing. Pulauskas takes the draw. Paulo wide. Reynolds in front. Reynolds comes up to challenge. Paulo comes up to challenge on the opposite side. Somebody's getting a slash. Well, Aldridge gets tied up with one of the Northstar players behind the net. He gets a slashing penalty. 12.7 seconds to go in the second. Paulo, Reynolds. Good save by Cutting as that shot went blocker side. He knocks it over and then it's cleared. Pruskintis and Campbell are at D. That'll be the end of the second. So after two, we're all tied up. All right, so minute 34 to go in the kill. Starting the third, we've got Paulo, Reynolds, Pruskintis, and Campbell. Puck into neutral ice. Northstar regroups, enters in a middle entry, waits, tries to get a pass over to the middle, bounces off. Puck down, put down low. Pruskintis knocks it away into the boards and out. Good clear by Pruskintis. Minute 6 to go in the kill. Letcher and Nietzsche come out. Rubicki and Onak at D. Puck over to the near board, looking for a backdoor pass. Puck comes out. Rubicki comes up to challenge. gets a stick on it. Onak blocks what was left of that shot, trying to clear. Northstar keeps it in. They go over and shoot. Rybicki knocks that puck down, cutting with a nice save. Puck cleared up. Letcher coming in, trying to get that puck. Northstar comes back up on the far side and enters, slow it down, come into the middle of the ice, and takes a shot. Glove save. Cutting, doing a good job looking between legs to find that puck. Glove save, no rebound. So 20 seconds to go. Bergeron and Kushkowski come out. Campbell and Prusgintis are deep. Northstar sends that puck over to the far board and then sends it down into the corner. Looking for a pass in front. Bergeron hustling to get there. He does, and then gets tripped. Oh my gosh, that's a trip. No call. Bergeron in the corner ties up the rest of the penalty time, and Credidio comes on. So all even now. Credidio, Bergeron, Kushkowski on the ice. Northstar looking to get a good zone entry. Get the puck to the middle of the ice and then knock aside. Prusgintis hard around. Weird bounce off of the board. Goes into neutral ice. Credidio on the forecheck. Northstar sends it in deep and changes. Carter comes on. Kushkowski to Credidio. Credidio avoids some contact and then gets the puck to Campbell. Campbell up for Prusgintis. It misses, and that'll be an icing. Kruger and Brown join Carter. 14:24 to go in the game. 2-2. Kruger at the dot. Puck is beneath him, gets knocked away. Onak gets to it. Hard off of the glass, bounces to Carter into the neutral ice. Northstar with it, looking for somewhere to go. Carter, good stick. Puck shot in the zone by Onak as it got stuck on. Brown comes in, almost gets a stick on that one. Aldridge has to battle with the linesman to get to that puck. Northstars are offsides. Puck getting knocked down low. Onak gets slashed. We'll go on the power play. Yeah! So we'll get our power play unit out. Onak drawing the slash. Reynolds, Paulo, Letcher, Nietzsche, and Onak. Face-off controlled by Northstars. They've got one guy deep. Onak tries to get a glove on that. It goes on cutting up for Paulo. Paulo circling to Onak. Onak up the near board and dumps it in deep. Paulo into the corner. Pulls that puck out. Tries to get it to Nietzsche. Makes his way to Reynolds. Reynolds to Onak. Onak back to Reynolds. Reynolds one time. Puck in front. Nietzsche gets a stick on it. Letcher gets taken down. Nietzsche comes to take that draw. Face off one over to Letcher. Bounces off of Letcher as he gets tied up. Paulo moves it to Onak. Onak to Reynolds. Reynolds walks it in. Tries to go cross ice for Paulo. Northstar tried to get it out. Onak keeps it. Over to Reynolds. Reynolds walks in. Shot. Deflected in front. Letcher. Out, over the board and out. Onak's got to chase back. Northstar has one guy on. Reynolds comes around cutting. Bringing forward with speed. Entering on the far side, avoids contact but loses the puck. Northstar trying to dump it in, and does. Cutting, puts it behind, and then plays it up the boards as one guy was on. Good stick by Paulo. Knocks that puck away. Letcher puts the puck to Campbell. Campbell sets up behind Cutting. Nietzsche up the far board. Letcher from behind Cutting with the puck. Over to the near side and deep, goes behind the net. Letcher looking for a pass, gets run into the boards, and then loses the puck. Taken away by Northstar. They try to clear and do. Northstar have two. Make a pass. Campbell, good stick. Gets the puck into neutral ice. Carter comes on with Pulauskas. Carter, Chalicki, Pulauskas are on. Rybicki has come on. Campbell puts that puck to Pulauskas. Pulauskas down for Carter. Carter to Chalicki. Chalicki has room. Changes places with Campbell. Campbell cross ice for Pulauskas. Gets knocked away. Chalicki shot into the stomach of the goaltender. And we'll get a line change. 11:24 to go in the game. Kushkowski, Credidio, Bergeron on the ice with Prisgintis and Aldridge. Good job by Kushkowski to tie up. Bergeron takes that puck into the corner. Credidio gets tied up. Northstar comes away with it, comes up the near board. Through the neutral zone with speed. They take it wide and then into the middle. Drop pass. Centering. It's under Cutting. Puck came loose. Looked like it hit Bergeron and then went under Cutting and covered. Carter, Kruger, and Brown come on the ice. Puck won over to the boards. Prisgintis chips it up to Carter, over to Kruger. Kruger, it knocks off of his stick. Kruger's offside. Carter has to slow up. Carter makes some room for himself and enters. Prisgintis picks that puck up. Shot is blocked. Carter has it back. Carter dumps it back down low. Kruger is there looking for a pass. Gets knocked away. Brown puts it back over to Kruger. Carter, big hit. He's going to get a penalty. So Carter's going to go for an elbow. Good hit, Ryan. That looked pretty clean. So 10:28 to go, and we're going to go back on the kill. But that is how we scored both of our goals, so maybe it's good luck. Paulo, Reynolds, Campbell, and Rybicki for the kill. Puck over to the boards. Northstar chips it out. Still working on the board. Get it down next to Cutting, and then big save, Cutting. Northstar still has it. Couple of saves. I'm not sure if that was a save or a block. Northstar shooting furiously. Another block by Rybicki. Puck cross ice. Northstar brings it down low, puts it next to Cutting. Try to jam one home. Cutting covers, gives no room on the sidebar there. So his pad was glued to the puck. They weren't going to be able to jam it in. Nietzsche comes out with Letcher. Campbell and Aldridge. Northstar pushes that puck back, keep it in. Another pass to the middle, shot goes wide over to the far side, and the D just sends it down to the corner. Puck makes its way to the Northstar. They bring it up the board. Campbell harassing. Puck gets lost in feet. Campbell digging it out, has it pinned, comes loose. Northstar comes around, centering pass misses. That's going to go down to have to be played by the goaltender. Onak comes on. Northstar to the near board. Get past Nietzsche. Chips off of Onak, centering pass. Good job by Aldridge. Aldridge knocks it away and changes. Porzingis comes on. Letcher goes off. Kushkowski comes on. 33 seconds to go on the kill. Kushkowski waits for Paulo. Paulo's now on. Northstar enters. That looked like it might have been offside. Shot is blocked. Onak, couple blocks. Puck chipped off of the boards. Stepped in. Good job by Onak. That puck came out, but the linesman says no. Puck cleared. Porzingis is up front. Penalty is over. Bergeron comes on. Northstar tried to center, gets knocked away. Onak knocks it out. Good kill by Fury. We're all even again. Porzingis enters, goes wide, takes a shot. Goaltender doesn't know where it is. He's next to his pad. He finds it and covers, and we get a whistle. Chalicki, Nietzsche, and Letcher come on. Face off, controlled by Fury. Chalicki gets it to Rybicki. Rybicki puts it down for Nietzsche. Puck comes around to Campbell. Campbell sends it back deep. Letcher goes to get it. Northstar comes from behind their own net with it. Knocked away by Chalicki, but carried on by Northstars. Centering pass misses. Letcher chips it off of the boards for Chalicki. Chalicki tries to chip it across. It gets knocked into the air. Chalicki gets a stick on it. Nietzsche cross ice for Letcher. Bounces away from Letcher to Rybicki. Rybicki to Nietzsche. Back to Letcher. Letcher cross for Chalicki. Nietzsche changes. Polauskas comes on. Paulo comes on. Reynolds comes on. Campbell and Aldridge at D. Northstar seems to kind of have slowed down a little bit. We're able to now push them away from pucks. Polauskas enters. Gets a hit, but goes to Reynolds. Glove save. Reynolds with a good opportunity as that puck bounced right to him. He had it lined up, but the goaltender saw it, got a glove on it. 6:55 to go in the game. Paulo is going to take this draw. Reynolds is going to be offset a little bit. Puck pushed to the corner by Northstar and then around the boards. They try to pass it off the boards. Reynolds is there, sends it back in the zone. Northstar now through the neutral zone, up the near board. Onak knocks it away. Reynolds has space. He's got Polauskas with him, so 2-on-2. Reynolds hits the post. Kruger's come on a change. Northstar enters the zone, gets a shot on, cutting, knocked away by Onak. Kruger tripped. Good penalty draw by Kruger, as we'll go on the power play with 6:19 to go in the third. Paulo, Nietzsche, Reynolds, Letcher, Campbell. Face-off controlled by Northstar. They try to chip it out. It hits off of Reynolds. They do get it to the neutral zone. Cross ice now. Nietzsche gets a stick on it. Campbell gloves it down. Puck is on the boards. Northstar dig it out. They go cross ice. Misses. Reynolds is there. Reynolds back from behind cutting. Puts the puck to Letcher. Campbell leaves it for Letcher. Over to Nietzsche. Cross ice for Reynolds. Up to Letcher. Letcher into the zone. Gets a shot on pad. Comes over to Reynolds. Reynolds hits the crossbar. And puck goes out of play. Onak comes on for Campbell. Puck over to Reynolds. Reynolds to Onak. Onak walks it down a little bit. Cross ice for Nietzsche. Nietzsche shot. Hits off of the blocker of the goaltender into the corner. Nietzsche battling. Northstar gets it out. Sends it down. Cutting. Leaves it for Onak. Paulo changes. Chilicki comes on. Nietzsche changes. Kashkowski comes on. Nietzsche from behind cutting to Onak. Onak enters on the right side. Gets tied up. Center pass for Letcher. Letcher misses wide. Chilicki gets that puck back. It goes underneath of him. Letcher digs it out. Gets it to Onak. Onak shot into the glove of the goaltender. 31 seconds to go on the power play. Carter, Palauskas come on for Reynolds. And Letcher. Face off. Controlled by Northstar. They send it up. And then it goes behind cutting. Palauskas gets that puck after Campbell's hit. Pushes it back to Campbell. Campbell comes from behind cutting. Over to Palauskas. Palauskas carries and then chips in. Puck goes behind the goaltender. Kashkowski is there, gets a stick on it. Chilicki tries to clear. We're going to be even. Carter goes to pass it to Palauskas. Palauskas was changing. Rubicki comes on. Northstar behind cutting. Shot blocked. Another opportunity stopped by cutting as they hit the pad. Chilicki now battling. Brown and Kruger come on with Reynolds. Kruger pushes that puck to Reynolds. Reynolds takes a shot. It hits off of the shoulder. Brown comes over, knocks the puck down low again. Reynolds is there. Reynolds behind the net. Battling, gets it free. Brings it out to Rubicki. Rubicki, shot in front, bounces off of the pad of the goaltender. Brzgintis takes that puck low. Northstar chips it into the neutral zone. Reynolds is there, lifts the stick. Brzgintis gives it to Brown. Brown sends it deep. Nietzsche comes on. Aldridge and Onak at deep. Onak takes that puck away, puts it up the boards. Northstar sends it back in. Onak tries to pass. It gets deflected up, bouncing. Kruger knocks it down, puts it into the zone, and that's an icing. 2:49 to go. Letcher, Chalicki, and Nietzsche with Onak and Aldridge. Face off. Puck down deep. Knocked into neutral ice. Picked up by Campbell. Campbell to Aldridge. Gintis gets taken down along with the Northstar player. Puck gets chipped out. Nietzsche going after it. And that'll be an icing. Paulo Reynolds Polauskas on the ice. Rubicki and Onak at D. Northstar wins the faceoff. They walk the line, get a shot, it goes wide. Rubicki tied up with Northstar player, loses his glove and his stick. Polauskas digs it out into the neutral zone. Northstar sends it right back in. Rubicki, one man on him. He chips up the boards. Northstar is there. Polauskas gets a stick on the puck and it floats to Cutting, who decides to glove it down. Gintis and Campbell come on for D. Minute 19 to go. Face off, controlled by Fury. Paulo gets held. No interference is called. Puck is on the near board, taken off by Northstar. They enter the zone. Centering pass, shot goes wide. They didn't quite get all of that one. Puck up the far board. Reynolds is there. Reynolds for Gintis. Gintis up for Polauskas, and that goes for an icing. 48.5 seconds to go. Letcher, Nietzsche, Chalicki come on the ice. Face-off won by Northstar. They take it down the boards, looking for a man in the middle. Put a shot on, Cutting, pad save, and then covers. 39.5 seconds to go. Paulo, Reynolds, and Polauskas come out to take over for Nietzsche, Letcher, and Chalicki. Brady hard around, over to Reynolds. Reynolds for Polauskas, and misses. Northstar sends it back in. Northstar's got two guys in. Good block by Campbell. Puck goes out of play. .25 seconds to go. Nietzsche, Letcher, Chalicki come back on. Campbell and Onak at D. Face-off won by Northstar. Quick shot from the boards. Cutting saw it all the way. Puts it into his glove. 20 seconds to go. Northstar wins that face-off back. Get a shot, goes wide. Puck behind the net. Northstar with it. Carries it up the far board. Shot off of the glove of Cutting and behind. Campbell battling. Northstar tries to get it back to their D. Misses. And 3 seconds to go. They're just going to eat it. And so end of 3, we're tied 2-2. We're going to do a 5-minute overtime. It's going to be 3-on-3. We're going to start out with Paulo, Reynolds, and Onak. Northstar controls the first face-off to take it into the zone wide and then bring it to the middle. Drop pass at the point. Brought down. And then back up to the blue line. Shot blocked and into the netting. Nietzsche, Letcher, and Campbell are going to come on. Letcher pushed that puck forward against block. Letcher chips ahead for Campbell. Campbell into the corner. Avoids a full-on hit, but the puck still comes loose. Northstar got 3 racing back. Letcher on his horse knocks that puck down and then chips it up the boards. Good job by Letcher. Wow, what a hustle play to get there. Centering pass knocked away by Campbell. Northstar back up the blue line. Drop pass and bring it back down. Puck behind the net. And now up the far board. Northstar back up to the blue line. Over to the near board. Get a change. Campbell knocks it out into the neutral zone. Northstar regroups. They get a change. Nietzsche providing pressure. Northstar through the neutral zone. Letcher steps in front. They lose the puck. Then do get an opportunity. Hits off of Cutting over to the back court. Letcher chips ahead for Nietzsche. Nietzsche all alone. Nietzsche couldn't get past and tried to chip the puck forward. Northstar goes back the other way. Reynolds comes back on. Northstar back up to the blue line. They get a change. Circling, shot, save, Cutting. Well, Cutting, that hit off of, looked like the inside of his pads. And then he controlled the rebound with a stick to cover. Pulauskas comes back on. Puck up the boards, Priskintis. Centering for Pulauskas. Pulauskas' shot is blocked. Priskintis, good hustle, gets there to get the rebound. His shot goes wide. Reynolds tries to dig one out. Porzingis takes it and sends to Pulauskas and misses Pulauskas, but he goes and gets it. Up the boards, hits the official, pass over to Reynolds, goes into the corner. Reynolds trying to work on it, goes behind the net. Northstar sets up. Reynolds goes for a change. Paulo comes on. Northstar had a guy behind RD, hits their stick, but they couldn't control it. Porzingis trying to battle, gets that puck stuck on the boards. Pulauskas gets the loose puck. He's got Paulo with him. That's too many men. Paulo shot, glove save, good pass. They changed too quick. One guy hadn't made it, and another guy had come on. Ref saying something. I don't know. Not doing anything about it, but Paulo, Chalicki, Onak. Chalicki shot, hits the chest. Good pass by Paulo to Chalicki back door. Goaltender slides over and makes a save. Minute 45 to go in overtime. Paulo wins that faceoff back to Onak, over to Chalicki. Chalicki to Onak. Onak's got a little bit of a lane, decides to pass it back to Chalicki. Chalicki bounces off of the stick. Paulo sends it deep. Northstar gets control of the puck. Through neutral zone into the offensive zone, going wide. Paulo trying to knock the puck away. Puck sent down low. Onak digs it out. Onak. It's a shot into the chest of the goaltender and a whistle. Nietzsche and Koszkowski join. Reynolds comes on. Koszkowski wins that to Nietzsche. Nietzsche to Reynolds. Reynolds' shot gets blocked. Reynolds gets control of the puck and brings it in. Chips forward for Nietzsche, covered by the goaltender. .1 seconds to go in OT. Koszkowski to take the faceoff. Northstar puts it to the corner. Comes from behind their goaltender and up the far board. Nietzsche intercepts. Puck gets knocked behind cutting and into the corner. Nietzsche and his guy both go down. Koszkowski battling on the boards, trying to get it. Nietzsche gets up. 20 seconds to go. Puck into the corner. Behind cutting now up to the blue line. 8 seconds. Cross ice. Nietzsche harassing his guy. Puck knocked into the middle of the ice, and then that is the end of OT. So 2-2, end of OT. We're going to go to a shootout. Northstar is going to go first. Starting out wide, coming in on cutting. Tries to go backhand, cutting, shuts it down. Send out our first shooter. It's going to be Brown. Brown gets him to move and flips it over on the left side. Gets the first one in. Oh, Brownie with the first shootout goal. We love you, 17. Northstar goes wide again. Sails it over the net. Go 37! Letcher's going to be our second shooter. Letch slows it down. First 5 goal. So best of 3, Brownie with the first, Letcher with the second. Cutting, stopping it all. Fury with the shutout win. Or not shutout, but OT win. I should say shootout win. Shutout. Anyway. Well, thank you guys for joining. I got to go back to work. So we'll see you guys on Saturday.